Most couples who divorce still love each other. That's the part nobody tells you. They don't leave because the love died. They leave because something else died first. Something quieter. Something most couples never even notice losing. Until it's already gone. Here at Relationship Lab Files, where we don't just talk about love, we decode it. We've spent years asking one question. What actually separates the relationships that survive from the ones that slowly, quietly fall apart? Today, I want to tell you about Emma and Jake. Because the answer isn't what most people expect. Emma was a 29-year-old nurse. Night shifts, long hours, the kind of job that leaves you exhausted but strangely alive. Jake worked in logistics, early mornings, endless spreadsheets. Always tired by Thursday. They matched on Hinge in the spring of 2022, 2 weeks after both of them had already deleted the app. Late-night voice notes became video calls. Video calls became weekend drives with no destination. Those drives became something neither of them had planned for. Love. Their first proper date, Jake turned his phone completely off. Put it face down on the table and never once looked at it. Emma still remembers that. Friends called them couple goals. And honestly, they believed it too. But then life happened, the way it always does. Not dramatically. Not all at once. Just gradually. Emma's shifts got longer. Jake's commute got harder. The voice notes got shorter. And without either of them realizing it, they stopped doing the very thing that had built everything. At first it seemed harmless, a delayed reply here, a distracted there. How was your day? Fine. Anything new? Not really. Love became routine. Routine became distance. And distance? Distance is never loud. That's what makes it so dangerous. Because here is the truth that most couples discover too late. Relationships don't warn you when they're dying. Gardens go brown, soil cracks, you can see it happening. Relationships just go quiet. No alarm, no signal, just silence where there used to be something. We live in a world that sends us reminders for everything: hydration, steps, screen time, calendar events. Our relationships have no notification system. They just quietly get worse. Until one day, they don't exist. Emma began noticing it first. Jake was physically there, but emotionally, miles away. She tried bringing it up. He said he was tired, work was stressful, she was overthinking, and maybe he believed it. Because most people don't intentionally neglect the person they love. They simply assume that love, the feeling, is enough to hold everything together on its own. It isn't. Dr. John Gottman spent over 40 years at the University of Washington studying thousands of real couples, filming them, following them, watching how they lived. And what he found changed how we understand love forever. He called them emotional bids, tiny moments when one partner reaches out for connection. Did you see that sunset? Can I tell you something? Look at this. This made me think of you. These moments seem insignificant, but they are not. Every single bid is quietly asking one hidden question. Are you there for me? And in one key Love Lab study, Gottman found this. Couples who stayed together turned toward each other's bids. They responded, they engaged, they showed up, around 87% of the time. Couples who eventually divorced? Around 33%. Same love, different attention. That's the gap. And here's what that looked like for Emma and Jake. Jake would start talking while Emma was scrolling. She'd nod, make a small sound, but she wasn't really there. And Jake, without consciously deciding to, began reaching out less. Not because he loved her less, because he'd learned at a level deeper than words that she wasn't really available. This is where relationships begin to die. Not with screaming, not with betrayal, with one person slowly, quietly stopping to reach. If your relationship isn't broken, but it doesn't feel the way it used to, this next part is specifically for you. The arguments had been building for months, not about anything real, about dishes, whose turn it was, who forgot what. But here's what those fights were really saying. Every dirty dish was Emma saying, "I don't feel supported." Every late reply was Jake saying, "I don't feel important." Every forgotten plan was both of them asking the same question. The question underneath every argument in every struggling relationship. Do I still matter to you? One night, Emma sat down across from Jake and asked him something. Just one question. Quietly. When was the last time we truly connected? Silence. Jake opened his mouth and then closed it because he didn't know. He genuinely didn't know. And I want to ask you the same question right now. When was the last time you put everything down, looked at your partner, and truly listened? Not to respond, not to fix, not to defend, just to understand. Because people don't leave relationships because they stop loving. They leave because they stop feeling emotionally safe. And loneliness inside a relationship, right next to someone you love, that may be the most painful loneliness in the world. Emma and Jake went to counseling. Not because they'd stopped loving each other, because they finally understood that love alone, the feeling, the history, the connection they once had, wasn't enough to save what they'd been quietly losing. Their therapist gave them something deceptively simple. 10 minutes. Every single day. No phones, no television, no noise. Just each other. Jake would talk 5 minutes about anything. What was weighing on him, what he noticed, what he was afraid of. Emma's only job was to listen. And when he paused to ask one single question, "Is there anything else?" No advice, no solutions. No, "Well, you should have." Just, "Is there anything else?" Then they'd switch. In therapy, they call it different things. We call it the daily return. The small, deliberate act of choosing to come back to each other. Not the leftover connection after Netflix and exhaustion. A real return. Because here's the difference that changes everything. Accidental connection is what happens when life allows it. The daily return is looking at the person you love and deciding, tonight, in this moment, no matter what, that they come first. About 3 weeks in, Jake started laughing at something he was telling her. A real laugh, the kind Emma hadn't heard in over a year. And in that moment, she didn't say anything. She just looked at him and remembered exactly why she chose him. Because beneath every great romance, beneath the attraction, the history, the life you've built, there is something people forget to protect. Friendship. Not butterflies. Not chemistry. Friendship, the kind that says, "I choose you even when life is messy. I see you even when things are hard. I'm still here." Every relationship is always moving in one of two directions, closer or farther apart. There is no neutral, no pause button, no coasting. You are either practicing the daily return, or you are quietly drifting. So the real question, the one that matters more than any other, isn't, "Do I love my partner?" It's, "Does my partner consistently feel loved by me?" Those are not the same question, and the gap between them changes everything. Emma and Jake didn't lose their relationship in a fight. They lost it in 1,000 small moments of looking away. The good news? You can choose to look back. Starting tonight, 10 minutes. Everything down. One question. Is there anything else? This is Relationship Lab Files, where we don't just talk about love, we decode it. If this story made you think differently about the person you love, share it with them. You don't need to say anything. Just send it. Let the story say it for you. And drop in the comments, what does the daily return look like in your relationship? Or, What happened when you stopped coming back? Because your story might save someone else's. See you in the next one.